Hi guys, and welcome to I think it's pronounced Katawa Shoujo. It's a game where you're a high school boy and you have to quickly move to a disability school. So I'm gonna play through it just like the options I would pick as if it was me. So let's press start. A light breeze causes the naked branches overhead to rattle like wooden wind chimes. This is a popular retreat for couples in the summer. The delicious trees provide a beautiful green company far out of sight of teachers and fellow students. But now it's in late winter, it feels like I'm standing under a pile of kindling. I breathe into my cupped hands and rub them together fiercely to prevent them from numbing in this cold. Just how long am I expected to wait out here? I'm sure the note said 4 p.m. Ah yes, the note slipped between my maths book while I wasn't looking. As far as the cliche goes, I'm more of a fan of the letter in the locker, but at least this way it shows a bit of initiative. As I ponder meaning of the note, the snow gradually thickens, the snowflakes silently falling from the white painted sky, and the only sign of time passing in this stagnant world. The slow descent upon the frozen forest makes it seem like time has just slowed to a crawl. The rustling of the dry snow underfoot startles me. Interrupting the quiet mood, someone is approaching me from behind. Hi, Hesau, you came? I hesitate, barely audible question. However, I recognize the owner of that dainty voice, and instantly I feel my heart skip a beat. It's a voice I've listened to hundreds of times, but never more than an eavesdrop to a conversation. I turn to face the voice of my dreams. My heart begins to race. Iwanko? Iwanako? I got a note telling me to wait here. Is it yours? Damn it, I spent all afternoon trying to come up with a good line, and that was the result. Pathetic. Yeah, I asked a friend to give you that note. I'm so glad you got it. A shy, joyous smile that makes me so tense I couldn't move a single muscle even if I tried. My heart is pounding now, as if it's trying to burst in my chest and claim the girl for itself. So, here we are, out in the cold. Iwaniko flinches ever so softly against the gust of the wind. As it passes, she rights herself as if supported by some new confidence. Her eyes lock with mine. She lazily twirls her dark long hair around her finger. All the while, the agnostic beating of my heart grows louder. My throat is tight. I doubt I can even force the word out if I tried. You see, I wanted to know if you'd go out with me. I stand there motionless, safe on my pounding heart. I want to say something in reply, but my vocal cords feel like they've been stretched beyond the breaking point. Hisao? I reach to massage my throat, but it sends spikes of bleeding pains along my arms. Hisao? My body freezes safe on my eyes, with shoot open in terror. Hisao! The beating in my chest suddenly stops. I go weak at the knees. The world around me, the canopy of bare branches, the dusk winter sky, and when I run towards me, all fades to black. The last things I remember before slipping away are the sounds of I when I go screaming for help, the clatter of the branches above. So I guess this is where it starts, guys. I think this is where I'm in the hospital. Yeah, it is. I'm in the hospital here, and I'm about to get some news that I can't go back to my original school. So as you can see, it's just a lot of utensils. And the clock just beating my life away. Here we go. It's been 4 months since my heart attack. In the whole time, I can probably count the number of times I left this hospital room unsupervised on one hand. 4 months is a pretty long time when you're left alone with your thoughts, so I've had plenty of time to come to terms with my situation. Arrhythmia? A strange word, a foreign alien one that you don't want to be in the same room with. A rare condition, it causes the heart to act erratically and occasionally beat way too fast. It can be fatal. Apparently I've had it for a long time. They say it was a miracle that I was able to go so long without anything happening. Is it really a miracle? I guess it was just supposed to make me feel better, more appreciative of life. It really didn't do anything to cheer me up. My parents, I think, were hit harder by the news than I was. They practically had two hemorrhages apiece. I had already had a full day by then to digest everything to them. It was all fresh. They were even willing to sell our house in order to pay for a cure. Of course, though, there isn't a cure. Because of the late discovery of this condition, I've had to stay in the hospital to recuperate from the treatments. When I was first admitted, it felt as if I was missed. For about a week, my room in the ward was full of flowers, balloons, and cards. But the visits soon dwindled, and all I get, well, gifts have been trickling down to nothing shortly after. I realized that the only reason I got so many cards and flowers because they were sending me sympathy, and being turned into a class project. Maybe some people were generally concerned, but I doubt it. Even in the beginning, I barely had visitors. By the end of the first month, only my parents came in on a regular basis. Ironica was the last of us stopped visiting. After 6 weeks, I never saw her again. We never had that much to talk about when she visited anyway. We didn't touch the subject that was between us on that snowy day ever again. The hospital is not really a place I like to live in. The doctors and nurses feel so impersonal and faceless. I guess it's because they were in a hurry and they have millions of other patients waiting for them. But it makes me feel uncomfortable. For the first month or so, I asked the head cardiologist every time I saw him for a rough estimate when I'd be able to leave. He never answered anything in a straightforward way, but told me to wait and see if the treatment and surgeries worked. So I observed the scar that those surgeries had left on my chest slowly changed their appearance over time, thinking it may have come some omen. I still ask the head cardiologist about leaving. My expectations are low enough now, and I'm not disappointed anymore when I don't get a reply. The way he shuffles around the answer shows that there is at least some hope. At some point I stopped watching TV. I don't know why, I just did. Maybe it's the wrong kind of activism for my situation. I started reading instead. There was a small library at the hospital, although it was more like a storeroom for books. Been working my way through it one small stack at a time. After consuming them, I would go back for more. I found I like reading. I think I even might be a bit addicted. I start feeling naked without a book in my hands. But I love stories. That's what my life was like. The days becoming increasingly harder to distinguish from each other, different only by the book I was reading. And the weather outside, it felt like I was blurred into some kind of gooey mess. I was trapped inside instead of moving within. A week could go by without me even noticing it. Sometimes I pause in realization that I didn't know what day of the week it was. But other times, all things surrounding me would painfully crash into my consciousness, though the barrier of non-relate I had it for myself. The page of a book would start to feel sharp and burning hot. The heaviness in my chest would become so hard to bear that I would put the book aside and just lay down for a while, looking at the ceiling as if I was going to cry. But that only happened rarely. I couldn't even cry. Today the doctor comes and gives me a smile. He seems excited, but not very. It seems like he's going to make an effort to be happy on my behalf. My parents are here. It's been a few days since I've last seen them. Both of them are even sort of dressed up as if it's supposed to be some kind of special occasion. It's not a party. There is a ritual. The head he takes his time sorting out papers, then set them aside and make a point. The pointless of what he just did. Then casually sits down on the bed and looks at me in the eyes and wonders, "Hello, Hassel. How are you today?" I don't answer him, but a smile back at him. "I believe you can go home. Your heart is stronger now, and with some precautions, you shall be fine. If all the medication's sorted out, I'll give your father the prescription." The doctor hands me a sheet of paper and turns and I read it. So many. I was in a long list of medications staring back at me, for the paper seems insurmountable. They blend together like a sea of letters. This is insane. Side effects, adverse effects. Dosages are lined up after with one cold precaution. I try to read them, but it's futile. I can't understand any of it. Attempting it only makes me feel sicker. All this for the rest of my life, every day? I'm afraid that's the best we can do at this point. However, new medications are being developed, so I wouldn't be surprised if this list faded over the years. Years? What kind of confident booster is that? I'd felt bad if you hadn't said anything at all. Also, I've spoken with your parents and we believe it would be better if you don't return to your old school. What? Please calm down, Hisao. Listen to what the doctor has to say. Calm down? The way he says it makes me feel, that makes me new full well that I wouldn't like it. I'm going to be homeschooled? Whatever my concern is ignored. Well, I'll understand what your education is paramount. However, I don't think it would be wise for you without the supervision, at least not until your medication is suitable. So we've spoken to your parents about a transfer. It's a school called Yakamu Academy. It specializes in dealing with disabled students. Disabled? What am I? It's a 24 nursing staff. It's only a few minutes from a highly regarded general hospital. The majority of the children live on campus. Think of a boarding school of sorts. It's designed to give children a degree while keeping health nearby. It would be like a free. There wouldn't be 24-hour news guy, nursing staff, and you wouldn't be able to make a hospital by a selling point. Of course, that's only if you want to go, but your mother and I aren't really able to homeschool you. We went out there, had a look a couple of weeks back. I think you'd like it. It looks like I don't have a choice. Compared to other heart problems, people with your condition usually tend to live long lives. You'll need a job one day, and this is a good opportunity to continue your education. This isn't an opportunity. Don't call it that. An opportunity? Don't call it a goddamn opportunity. Well, you should be excited at the chance to go back to school. I remember you wanted to return to school. While it was not the same one. A special school, that's an insult. That is what I want to say. It's a step down. It's not what you think. All the students there are pretty active in their own sort of way. It's geared towards students that can still get around and learn, but you just need a little help in one way or another. Your father's right. And many of the graduates of school have gone on to do amazing things. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. One of my colleagues is in another hospital as a graduate. I don't care. A person doesn't have to be held back by their disability. That's what a disability is. I really hate it. That something so important was decided for me. But what can I do about it? A normal life is out of the question now. It's funny, I always thought my life would actually be kind of boring, but now I miss it. I want to protest. I want to blame the lack of reaction of shock or fatigue. I could easily yell out something now. Something about how I want to go back to school anyway, but no. I don't do anything. The fact, I know it's futile. I look around the room feeling tired, the hospital, my condition, everything. I don't see anything that would make me feel any different. There isn't really a choice, I know, but there's got to be a disability school. What are those even like? As much as I want to try and put a positive spin on this, it's very difficult, but let me try. Clean slate isn't bad. This is... I can get me out of it. At least I can still have even if the special school is something, a fresh start. My life isn't over. It would just be a mistake to regain myself of thinking that. At least I'll see what my new life looks like. Act 1, Life Expectancy. The gate looked far too pompous for what it was. In fact, the gates in general seemed to do that. But this one especially so. Red bricks, black wrought iron, and grey plaster assembled into a whole that didn't feel welcoming at all. Well guys, I'm going to end this here. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for part 2. See you later.